This is Inner Motion, a channel for those who train in silence, who build their soul while the world sleeps, who fight battles no one will ever see. If you're one of us, if you're tired of running from yourself, hit that subscribe button, because this isn't motivation. This is a return to the truth. And today, we're not just talking about pain. We're talking about the pain you avoid, the exact pain that's quietly holding the life you were born to live. You want to know who you really are? Look at the pain you keep avoiding. That's where your real life is hiding. Not in your comfort, not in your plans, not in your excuses, but in the wounds you won't touch. And I know it hurts. That's the point. If it didn't, it wouldn't be the door. Every person has a wound. They tiptoe around the truth they refuse to speak, a memory they won't revisit. And that wound is where their power is buried. But we were never taught that. We were taught to numb, to scroll, to run, to smile when we feel broken, to distract ourselves to death. So let me say it clearly. The pain you avoid is the exact path you were meant to walk. Not to suffer endlessly, but to wake up, to break the illusions, to break the chains, and finally, to live. You've been telling yourself you're just tired, that it's not the right time, that you're healing, that you're figuring it out. But deep down, you know you've been hiding from the conversation, hiding from the truth, hiding from the version of you that's still waiting to be faced. The pain you avoid has already shaped you. It dictates who you trust, what you chase, what you sabotage, who you let love you, and who you run from. It lives in your posture, your decisions, your silence, and it will keep shaping your life until you stop running and walk straight into it. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the flame. You were never meant to escape the fire. You were meant to walk through it, to burn off what's false, to melt down your ego, to forge something real. Every great transformation begins with pain. The pain of letting go, the pain of facing what you've denied, the pain of being seen, the pain of being honest, the pain of being alone. So you can finally stop being lonely. The life you're craving, the strength you admire in others, the presence that moves rooms. It was never handed to them. It was carved in fire and silence. In pain, you are not weak. You're just untrained in the art of enduring. You are not broken. You are buried beneath all the noise, all the fear, all the avoidance. There's a version of you that doesn't flinch, that doesn't run, that doesn't shrink in the face of fire. That version lives on the other side of the pain you keep dodging. Not pain for the sake of suffering, but pain with purpose. The kind of pain that reveals your edges, your power, your truth. So here's the question. Will you keep avoiding it, or will you walk into it, eyes open? Will you let it shape you, or will you keep trying to escape and calling that healing? Will you confront the fear, or will you keep calling your comfort peace? Because there is no peace without a war, and the first war is always internal. Versus you, the part that wants to stay safe, and the part that's ready to wake up. Let's talk about what no one sees. The weight you carry in your chest, the pressure behind your smile, the conversations you never had, the dreams you've buried under doubt. No one claps for the battles you fight in your own mind. No one celebrates the nights you keep breathing when everything in you wants to disappear. And that's what makes this path different. It's not loud, it's not public, it's sacred. See, your transformation isn't meant for applause. It's meant for alignment. And alignment comes through fire, through letting the pain come. Closer than you've ever let anything. You think your pain makes you weak? It doesn't. What you call breaking is the beginning. It's the moment your mask finally cracks, and your real face starts to show. The pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to strip away everything you were never meant to carry. The expectations, the performance, the guilt, the shame, the need to be perfect, the need to be liked. Gone. It hurts, yes, but so does growth, so does birth, so does rising. You've been trying to change without pain. That's why it hasn't worked. You can't heal what you won't feel. You can't reach what you won't touch. That heartbreak that almost ended you, that betrayal that made you question your worth, that failure that whispered you're not enough. Those weren't dead ends. They were assignments, sacred initiations, opportunities disguised as pain. You just didn't see it yet. But look at You now still breathing, still waking up, still wondering if maybe, just maybe, you're not broken. You're becoming. You are the evidence that pain doesn't have to end you, that wounds can become wisdom, that silence can teach more than any sermon. And I know you're tired, but tired doesn't mean you stop. It means you slow down and keep walking anyway, because you made it this far, and that matters. Don't let anyone tell you that quiet progress isn't progress. Don't let anyone convince you that softness isn't strength, or that stillness isn't sacred. The fact that you're still here means something. The fact that you're still listening means everything. Because somewhere deep in your chest, you know this is your moment. The pain you keep avoiding, that's not your punishment. It's your compass. That ache, that anxiety, that sadness. It's a message. It's trying to tell you this isn't the end. This is the door. But you've been so busy running, you stopped listening. The distraction, the comfort, the numbing. It didn't work. You know it didn't. Because the pain is still here, waiting, calling you back to the path, to the truth, to the version of you that doesn't break. It builds. You can't outrun it anymore. You've tried. You've distracted yourself. You've avoided the mirror. You've stayed busy, loud, entertained, numb, but pain has patience. It will wait. It will whisper through your success. It will echo in your relationships. It will hide in your ambition. Until one day, you stop that. And in that stillness, it catches up. And you finally see it for what it is. Not the enemy, but the invitation. The pain is not chasing you. It's calling you. And the reason it hurts so much is because it's real. And you're finally ready to feel it. Asterisk, when most people feel pain, they run, they numb, they shrink. They make it someone else's fault, but not you. Not anymore, because now you understand. Pain isn't a signal to escape. It's a signal to stay, to breathe, to feel, to let it reshape you. You don't have to fix everything right now. You don't have to have the answers. You just have to stay in the fire long enough to become what the fire is trying to build. It won't feel good, but it will feel true. And the truth, that's what will free you. You're not in a breakdown. You're in a breakthrough. You're not collapsing. You're shedding. You're not falling apart. You're finally letting go of the parts that were never really you. The masks, the roles, the stories that kept you small. And what's left is raw. It's unfamiliar. It's uncomfortable. But it's real. And real is where power lives. You've been told to avoid pain, to aim for balance, to keep it all together. But warriors aren't made by balance. They're made by chaos, by tension, by pressure, by showing up every day with no certainty, only conviction. Pain doesn't build cowards. It builds creators, leaders, kings. So, stop asking for the pain to leave. Ask what it's here to give you. Asterisk, the people who last aren't the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who made peace with pressure. They learned to feel the weight without breaking. They learned to carry pain without losing their purpose. Because here's the truth. Success without endurance is temporary. Power without pain is shallow. Discipline without emotion is empty. You need all of it. You need the fire and you need the reason. The only way to build something that lasts is to go through what most people avoid. You want real confidence, then bleed for something. Earn it over and over and over again. Not with likes, not with hype, but with silence and scars. Every time you think you can't go further, and then you do, that's how legacy is built. Not in giant leaps, but in tiny, private moments where you choose to keep going instead of giving in. The people who change the world aren't the loudest. They're the most unbreakable. Because they understand one thing. Pain is the price of purpose. And most people just aren't willing to pay. But you are. That's why you're still here. Asterisk. Because now it's not just about pain. It's about power. It's about taking everything that tried to break you and building with it. It's about facing your worst days and saying, I'm still not done. The real ones, the ones who lead, they don't chase easy. They chase alignment. They chase meaning. And they know meaning costs everything. If you want to live a life that matters, you're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be judged. You're going to be underestimated. But that's fine, because none of that changes the mission. Every scar you carry tells a story. Every moment you didn't quit became part of your armor. And that armor, it wasn't built for comfort. It was built for war. You're not here to please the world. You're here to wake it up. So don't fold now. Don't soften. Don't wish it was easier. Become someone stronger. Pain taught you. Pressure refined you. And now you're the weapon. Let the world throw its worst. You've already walked through fire. And fire doesn't scare fire. This is your moment. This is your edge. This is the part where you rise. Because you didn't just survive the pain. You became the kind of person it couldn't break. Asterisk. Because once you stop running from pain, you start running into purpose. That's when everything changes. You stop waiting for the world to approve. You stop hoping someone saves you. You stop blaming your past, your parents, your pain, and you start owning it, all of it. You own the hurt. You own the doubt. You own the habits that held you back. And you say, this ends with me. No more escaping. No more excuses. No more softness dressed up as self-care. You're not here to be coddled. You're here to be carved. Because you know the sharpest blades are forged in the hottest fire. You raise your standards, not to impress anyone, but because the old version of you can't walk the path you're meant for. You hold yourself to a higher code, a deeper level of honesty, of discipline, of truth. You don't run from responsibility anymore. You ask for it. You invite the pressure, because you've seen what you're capable of when the weight hits, and you're done living light. Asterisk, you're not who you were. You're not even close. Because that version of you, the one who flinched, the one who folded, the one who waited for the right time, they're gone, buried in the ashes of the pain you faced, replaced by something quieter, stronger, unshakable. You walked into the storm and didn't beg it to stop. You learned to breathe in the chaos, to see clearly through the rain, to find your way by feel, not by sight. This world doesn't hand you peace. You have to fight for it. You have to earn it. And now you've earned it. Not by screaming louder, but by showing up when no one clapped, by grinding when no one watched, by becoming the kind of person who doesn't need proof to keep going. That's who you are now. The one who trains in silence, who bleeds for something real, who walks the hard path, not for attention, but for alignment. You chose the pain, you chose the pressure, and in return, you found power. Not the kind they sell online, the kind that can't be taken from you. You don't need validation. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You're past that now. You lead, now you build. Now you carry the weight others drop. Because this is not motivation. This is war. This is discipline. This is truth. And if you made it this far, if your heart's still beating, you already know. You're one of us, so don't stop now. Don't slow down. Don't shrink to fit back into a world you've outgrown. Subscribe if you're walking this road too, not for hype, but because you've decided to suffer for something greater, to rise no matter what, to live the life your pain was pointing to, the one you were born for. This is Inner Motion, and this is just the beginning. Asterisk.